remember how you felt exactly after the game? It seemed like you weren't under the pressure of what just happened and took place. You almost had, in my view, like a Zen kind of moment when you were thinking about how to get to the next part. I don't know if you can remember that, but just how are you dealing with, the back-to-back situation going on the road?
I spent all night yesterday or day before kind of coming up with what we've done this year and where we're at. And, what players do is they read so much that I don't and hear so much. I think we had won 5 out of 7. Is that right, going in that?
Mm-hmm.
Who would know that? You would. Is that what we won?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, okay. And then we lose those 2 games, and so I'm looking at how we lost, what we lost. I'm more concerned with. I was really disappointed how we played. We didn't shoot it well. That was a big thing. Our defense wasn't awful. It wasn't as good the second half, but we just didn't make a shot. And when you don't make a shot, those things happen, as they did early in the year. So I went through with my team every game we lost the next day and how we lost them. Some at the free throw line, some with leads at the end, and I blame myself and my point guards for that. You should be able to finish games with the coach and the guards. And so it's disappointing, but it's I don't think that much less of my team. I don't think we can't accomplish some things. I think you keep digging yourself a hole and you got to dig your way out of it. If I knew why, I would fix it. But we practice not like a team that is giving up, and we're looking forward to moving forward. I cannot explain the last 2 games. I mean, I give Iowa a little more credit, and not that I don't give it to Ohio State. I just felt like, in Iowa we missed all those layups, and I kind of went through that on film and went 7 for 14 from the line, and you can't do those things. You just cannot do those things in Big Ten games.
Coaches, 2 games you were supposed to win to a game nobody's maybe expecting you to win. Is that helpful in some ways?
I don't know if it's helpful. I mean, what I'm looking for, are we playing better? Are we playing as good as we can play? If we play as good as we can play and we don't win, I can live with some of that. I can't live with not playing very well and not winning. And so I was, disappointed is a good word for the media. My words are a little different how I felt. And
sorry, did I cut you off?
Probably. But it's all right, I'll go to you next. But I'm looking forward to every opportunity we have. We've had opportunities all year to, and sometimes we've come through. Our backs are against the wall. Baylor, we're at a 38-point lead or something. It's been hard to figure out, and I probably haven't done as good a job of pushing them through it, because I'm trying to figure out a little bit how to do that. Yes.
I'm terrible at cutting in sometimes, sorry. But Tyson, he's been having a few rough shooting nights, and he even said that this just hasn't been his month. What are you seeing from it? Is it fatigue, like season fatigue setting in, or what do you think is kind of going on?
Yeah, I've been a little disappointed. I've been more disappointed with his defense than his offense. He'll make shots. I mean, you can't get mad at a guy who's a shooter for missing shots. Him and Jaden made more shots tonight than he made in the last 2 games, including the warm-ups. I mean, he made everything he took tonight. So I'm not worried about that. I think it's affected his defense, and that's been concerning for me. So we're trying to talk to him about more, you've got to play both ends of the court. That's what you do. That's who you were. And I think he's lost a little bit on that, and I think that triggers his offense. And he said a couple of bad games in a row for him, but he had a lot of good games in a row too, and there's no reason he can't get back to that, Contrary to what people think, I didn't forget how to coach, and he didn't forget how to shoot. We just got to do it on a better level.
Coaches always tell me that players are more resilient than they are. Given that, where's the mental state of your team right now, do you think?
I think the mental state of my team is a lot better when I went through the 11 losses.
Really?
Yeah, I got a sheet upstairs I could show you a little bit of, when you go through it and you realize you're 3 up in this game, 3 up on this game, 3 up on this game, you go 7 for 17 from the line. Nobody tries to miss a free throw, but if you're playing a Big Ten game on the road, you're not going to be able to go 7 for 17 and win. So, I think mentally they are more resilient. I'm not as resilient. But what I've done over my career is that has driven me and maybe demanded and accountability and the will, and I'm figuring out how to do that this day and age, and I probably haven't done as good a job as I should, but I'm getting better at it.
Back to Tyson, is he 100? How close to 100% is he right now?
You know what? Ask him. I don't know. I mean, every time he goes down, he's grabbing his groin, and so I don't know. You know, I mean, I really don't. There's nothing I can do about it, so I just listen to the trainer and listen to him. Can you play or not play? But it's definitely been a somewhat of an issue. I mean, and he gets beat up too. You know, I mean, I'm sick of how he gets beat up, if I was to tell you the truth, and not get some calls. But he's gonna have to learn to deal with it. Just the way it is.
How is he improved? How's he doing since the last time you saw him?
Well, that was a long time ago. You know, last time I saw him, and I think Edie's improved. That he looks like he's lost weight, or he's changed his body fat. I think he moves a lot better. He's got a 10.5 inch wingspan, and when you watch him play, those arms are everywhere. They're like octopus arms, and he's done a great job. I think his motor's better than it was a year ago. Not that it was bad, but he seems so much more aggressive on the offensive end, rebounding the ball, not necessarily scoring the ball. His shot is similar to me, you know, good but similar. But his offensive rebounding to me, he's like he's on a mission, and I respect that. You know, I think he's better. I think the other guy that has really improved his game is Smith. I think he runs that team. I mean, he is the coach on the floor. He runs the team. He knows when to shoot. He knows when to pass. He's a phenomenal post passer. Now, I do got to admit, if I close my eyes and I threw the ball to Edie, the chances are 80% he's going to catch it. And so I understand that. But there's a stat that he has that I think typifies who he is. I think he's averaging 7.6 or 7 rebounds a game as maybe the smallest man on the floor. And that tells you a little bit about Smith. I think he's been phenomenal. I think he's the difference in their team last year, you know, when they struggled in the tournament. I think everybody said it was their guard play, and I think he's taken that over. So he's a great passer and a great rebounder, but a great general to run their team. The other guy that's probably improved the most is Gillis. He's shooting 48% from the three, and he has become a legitimate three-point shooter now. You think back 4 years ago, he was a postman. So I give them credit on that. They've changed their system a lot. They run a lot more ball screens than they used to. Matt's done a good job with them. They guard pretty well, but they're plus, 12 or 13 rebounds. And you say, well, that's because of Edie. You know, I look at the biggest guy and the smallest guy have the most rebounds for their team.
Jones has helped him too.
Jones has helped him, and he's definitely, can shoot it. He gives him another dimension. He's a better defender than some of the guards they've had. So that helps them too. I just think those other two guys have, and Edie is on the offensive boards has been unbelievable.
There's no great matchup for Edie, but I'm wondering, do you have a sense of who your best counter is to him?
Yeah, we're gonna bring all of our centers down there, stack them on top of each other, and try to defend them. It'll be by committee. I mean, we'll be sending guys in every 3-4 minutes. I don't know if any ever wrestled, but when you wrestle, it's probably more taxing than when you run sprints. And that's what it is, that you're wrestling a bear the whole time. And he's a load. He's 300 pounds coming at you. So it'll be definitely by committee. It doesn't matter who starts. It doesn't matter who the first sub is. All those guys will definitely we'll be rotating different guys on them. You know, even tonight, you know, like I said, Buck has had a couple of great weeks, and you know, what I tell him is, you're going to learn what physicality is. I mean, you know, the kid inside, the other kid, is maybe more physical than Edie. I mean, as far as physical. So this is a physical team. It's not just Edie, and it'll be good for Book to see what it's like. And you know, but I know one thing: he's a lot more ready for it now than he was 3 weeks ago.
Is there any chance that when he's in there, he will bring Edie away from the basket and create, or will they not guard him like that? You don't think?
Yeah. You know, I don't want to give up all the things that I think. Sorry, but yeah, I don't think that'll happen.
I'm wondering about when you went back and watched that last game, particularly the last 8 minutes. It looked like Ohio State was really sagging off Monty in the post and kind of letting. I mean, what does that do to the rest of the offense when they have?
Well, they weren't sagging off Marty. I never put Marty up top.
What's that?
I didn't sag off Marty. I don't know what film you were watching. Marty was inside the whole time. How do you sag off a guy
I mean,
inside?
when he got the ball around the free throw line, and, you know, handoffs around there, it seemed like when he's given a handoff at the top of the key, before he even goes in there, this guy's off him.
Yeah, same thing we'll do with Edie. You know, that's what people do. And, you know, get to your question. Why aren't you playing Booker? Why didn't you play Booker? Get to your question.
I don't think it's
Get to your
necessarily the
question.
question, but did you think that Booker spaced it a little better? Or a little
I
differently?
think Booker did some really good things. I'm absolutely in love with what he did. I told you then why we just felt like our veterans down the stretch. We felt like our rebounding, we were getting hurt.
Yeah.
If you want to watch some film, I'd be glad to show it
He was
to you.
9-2 at that point when you took him out. So
Okay, well, and so, I mean, there's other reasons. I mean, I appreciate all the armchair people. I really do, including you guys. But there's a reason. I mean, I didn't forget how to coach, contrary to what most of our probably alums feel right now. And I'm going to do the same thing I always did. But I'll tell you this. In not 1 ounce of a night do I worry about how I've dealt with Booker. I just told him there, when the season's over, I'm going after him like I never have. And he laughed. And he said, why? And I said, because you made a couple moves tonight that you wouldn't have come within 20 feet of going to the basket 3 weeks ago. And he just wasn't ready. He just now it's easy to say, well, if you play him, he gets ready. Well, I'll be the football guy that I am. Some quarterbacks get better as you play them, and some get deep sixth and never come back because they get ruined because they're not ready. And, you know, am I disappointed on how a couple of our bigs played compared to what I thought from last year? Well, of course. Am I disappointed that what's his name got hurt? I am. But it's not as easy to make some of the adjustments you think. One would be better maybe offensively, but not defensively. We're already not getting to the free throw line enough. So, you know, I mean, I'm not jumping you for it. I understand I understand the frustration
Of the strengths and weaknesses of those guys. I mean, they've all
it's
got
very
distinct
difficult.
strengths and weaknesses.
It's very difficult, and some of it is, you know, they didn't play as well as I'd expect, and some of that. And there's been reasons, injuries, family situations. There's reasons that the general public has no clue of, and I understand that. But as far as Book, you know, you guys, I give you free access, free. Ask him what he thinks. Ask him. Ask him if he came to me. Ask him. You know, I feel great because I'm interested in Book in the big picture. And the kid has made great progress, and he's making great progress. And I've even got to make some decisions now, you know, on some things. I got to make sure that he's keep progressing upward. So that's my choice, coach's decision. I get input from my assistants, but you know, I mean, here, I'll give the pro girl a chance. You know, I was out in San Francisco last year for the playoffs, the year before, and in the owner's box, and everybody in the box, that's all they talked about was Kuminga.
What?
Kuminga.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't he get a chance? Why didn't he do this? Why don't they play him? Why don't they that? Why don't they this? He wasn't ready, you know. Now 3 years in, he's more ready, and he's having a good year, you know. I mean, you guys look at it, see, you should have done this. We look at it as maybe the way we did it helped him get to where he is without losing all the confidence or things in himself. But guys, what bothers me about writers that I give access to my program every week you can come here, and some of you have said it to me privately, not in the group. When you were in here at the beginning of the year, how did you feel?
Book?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the development without.
Whoa, that's not what I asked you. How did you feel? You said it best.
Yeah.
Okay? So, I get paid to do what I do. You don't get paid to do what I do. And it was that easy that you could see it. I mean, guys, he's more physical right now than ever. Now, some of it is the 21 pounds. Some of it is just learning how to do it. I mean, ask him. He's right there. You know, we only got certain guys that we let them talk to, or what?
No.
They talk to whoever they want.
Yeah.
I asked him the other day
Talk to
about
whoever
how
you
much
want.
the weight helps with his leverage. You know, I mean, it's something that
The
wasn't there.
problem is these guys have no clue how hard you got to play at this level. No freshmen. That's why there's this big war on that. NBA guys, no clue how hard the rookies got to play. That's why they don't play rookies anymore, right? I mean, you covered them.
Unless you're on a rebuilding team, yeah.
Yeah, and how do they do?
Look at the Pistons.
How do they do?
Not well.
Okay, so.
But I guess they have more room to like make mistakes. They have a longer leash to be able to. You don't get pulled. But then again, you have Pajensky playing for the Warriors right now, and he's been doing a really good job.
So I think
Wait a second.
But I get what you mean. I'm sorry. I'm getting too specific.
Wait a second. You know what? There's exceptions to every rule.
Yeah,
out there,
sorry.
You know, it's like the frickin' people that are, well, the transfer portal. Look at the quarterback. Look at how well he did. Look at the 100 of kids that didn't even get a scholarship. You know, are we crazy? Are we crazy? You know, I'm not into that flip a coin, 1 in 100. That's not what I do.
I think the counter from a writer's perspective would be that the development, he was ready to start, you started him, he played 17 of 25. That he had a 10-point lead, then he didn't come back in and the lead went away and didn't go back to him. I think that's the counter that would be the
Well, the truth of it is I tried to lose the game. I'm in on the gambling people now, and I had a side deal, so I tried to lose it. And I don't mean that as a smart aleck comment, but you just said about the rebounding, you know, there were issues that we had. And you know what, guys? You figure your veterans are going to come through for you. I mean, Book or Marty didn't make the difference. Our two shooters went 5 for 25. You know, they went, or 6 for 6. I mean, you think you're going to win many games like that? Ain't going to happen. So it's a legitimate question, and I don't even mind the question. It's a good question. Go on.
I ain't got nothing.
How would you the two big looks you've used in the last couple of games? How would you evaluate those when you look back at them? Kind of what those give you versus the minuses zone. The two big looks.
The two big looks.
When you got two centers in the game, you know, you got Marty and Cooper out there together. Another combination.
That's a great example because we're a little stuck because Malik can't play forever, right? Mm-hmm. So then you got to put Book in there, and then you got to guard somebody. That's another area that's going to take a little work and development, and because most people are playing with 6'6", 6'7" foremen, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the other challenge that I've had to deal with, you know. But you know, and then trying to move, you know, like probably Cohen would have played more 4, but then when our other guard went out for the year, then I had to make some adjustments there. So there's been adjustments that I've had to make that have been hard.
In your bag of secret tricks, Can you stop Edie? I mean, he's kind of a freak, or is that not possible?
You know, when I go through every night right now, it wasn't Edie. Who was the other guy that they had? No.
Isaac Haas.
Maybe it was Edie early. Remember when we said we were so paranoid of giving up threes, and he got 30-some, and we won because we stopped the three-point shot. You know, I mean, I remember I think my wife and kids were booing me from the stands because we wouldn't double them, and at the end, no, really, and at the end of the game, you know, and so that's you pick and choose, you know, what you want to do, and there's nobody like him in college basketball. I mean, those that don't think he can play in the NBA, I struggle with. I really do. I mean, he's such an imposing figure. I mean, it's not the 300 pounds. It's not the 7'4". It's the 7'10" and a half wingspan. Because he can sit anywhere and just, you know, it doesn't matter if you cut him out. It doesn't matter what you do. And there's things he can get away with too, you know, that most don't. So it's a challenge. That's why it's been a challenge just about for everybody. And different teams have tried different ways. I will promise you one thing: if we don't make shots, we aren't winning the game. We've got to make some shots. And so, does Book help in that? 100%. But Matt Painter's no dummy either. You know, you were about to think they were going to put Edie on, but you were about to think that.
I wondered.
Ain't happening. Okay? So then I got a 6'9" athlete, quicker than hell, stronger than in Ren, whatever. So there's so many different things to think about. And it sounds like I'm being a smart ass. I'm really not. But you know, we were playing pretty damn good. And we laid 2 eggs, one, to me, ridiculous. And you know what? I don't know. It happened. If I had an answer for it, I'd tell you it wasn't like anybody quit. It wasn't like anybody didn't care. We're not as mentally and physically tough. I've said that all year long. And I've said I don't know how many teams are. And that's why I think you're seeing what you're seeing in college basketball right now. So I got to make sure that I do even a better job. We're going down there to win a game. That's not coach speak. I think our guys practiced really well, and for 2 days, and we got 2 left. We got a meeting tonight. We're putting some time in. We'll see what happens.
How was that long week been a benefit? You know,
it's weird. It's weird. I mean, I can't. I would have liked to have had the 5 days with school. If I'm going to have 5 days.
Why? I was curious. I didn't know what you meant by it, because you mentioned a couple times spring break sort of being a negative almost.
Well, when you have spring break and you have a game on a Wednesday and a game on a Saturday, now you're traveling. You can practice 2 a days. When you have all those days and no games, how much can you practice at this time of year? So then you give them a little rest. I gave them rest last week.
That. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining about it, but you asked me what I did. Well, the first day we watched film, I gave them a day off. I don't have to give them a day off now, but they're a little worn out. You know, it's been a long year. Yesterday we had meetings, and then we had a good practice. Today we had some meetings, and had I thought, pretty good practice. Shot well, and tomorrow we'll do more.
How does not having your schedule, how did that just